it's great seeing you, man. Especially since, like, what was it, a year? Could I
Yeah,
say that we
I
spoke?
would.
It was over the phone.
I was thinking probably a little bit over a year
Yeah.
since I was last on. So thanks for having me again.
Oh, you can look for you. I don't know if you noticed, man, but I wore this cap
Very nice.
just for you and
I appreciate that.
the respect of what you've done in sports and of course in what you're doing in music. Look, since from the year and even with the pandemic and the way things have been going, man, how have you been throughout this time?
Good. It's been like I said, I was thinking about it last night since the last time I was on, and it's happened really quick. It's been a fast-paced year with everything just being able to start playing live for the first time, as a band, and then getting some more music out and just continuing to play live and try and figure the whole thing out. It's been great, to be honest. It's been a cool year.
When was your first performance when things started to open up and what was that like?
It would have been last year, August. We played the first show we played was in Ottawa, and it was crazy. It was obviously very nerve wracking. Um, First time I ever played with a band, so it was pretty cool. And obviously, Ottawa, it's where I'm from. It's where I did most of my growing up, and there's a lot of familiar faces in the crowd, so it added some nerves and everything. But overall, it was an amazing experience.
So happy for you, man. One of the things we are going to talk about is new music and, of course, shows and things like that. But before we go into that, let's revisit a little bit about your career because before the music, there was sports. And that's the reason why I'm wearing the Peter Puck hat.
Yeah, I was spent my life growing up playing hockey. Basically, gave all of my time to it for I don't know 20 some odd years, and had the chance to play pro a little bit in North America, and then went to Europe and played for a few years. And once the pandemic hit, I was not able, obviously, to cross borders with COVID and everything. So I turned to music, and we're trying to run with that. So it's going well.
Who was somebody you and I both know from a certain group was kind of helping you out with this too, man?
Yeah, he still is. Jay Emmons of the Glorious Sons takes care of me pretty well. He's my manager, and I'm happy to call him probably one of my best friends now. And he's been everything I could ask for and more in this process. And I'm happy to have him by my side for sure.
He's really turned into like a godfather of music, man. He's helped out so many people, and he's such a great soul. And I say
Yeah,
that not just a great person, but a great soul. What are some of the things that he's helped you with that when you were unsure about that he kind of put, okay, let's chill. Let me show you what your strengths are, and then you watched it blossom.
yeah. I think just going back to the start, like I mean, I played music like guitar and sang just obviously around my house and stuff for a few years, and then even just to start in the music, like for him to tell me that there could be something there was obviously a big stepping stone. And then just getting into the recording side of it, like to have him in the room and basically take control of what this music is going to sound like and stuff like that. I don't think I would be able to do that on my own. He's obviously been there before, and those guys have grown into something pretty special. And but everything just from like he was there for the first live show he played with me, and just having him there was sort of a sense of calmness and and everything is going to be okay sort of thing. So it's been great.
Making this transition from sports to music is tough enough. To do it during the pandemic is even harder because a lot of people decided to walk away from their careers too in music. What was that transition like for you? And even when it came down to trying to record music and things like that, what were some
Yeah.
of the difficulties?
I think when I first made the decision, I don't know if COVID even really had a huge impact on it because we weren't really at a point where we could start playing live sort of thing. Like we didn't have music. I didn't even have a band, but we had to make ourselves first. But once it started coming to talking about playing live, it was sort of just like a waiting game. And I was really excited to do it. And I was always asking, when, and then we would go back into another lockdown and we'd have a show planned and then we'd go back into another lockdown. So that got a little frustrating, I guess, over anything. I was just ready to get it out of the way and start doing it. But like I said, it's happened really fast. And to be honest, I think COVID was sort of like a blessing for us. It gave us time to get in and record and, get our feet on the ground with we got the EP out basically before we started playing live. So it was, it sort of made us take our time and figure everything out before we got, into it too quickly.
What kind of songs were you writing during that time? And, what kind of stories do you like to tell through your music?
Uh, I was a pretty emotional kid growing up, to be honest. I don't know, I felt a lot, and music was something for me when I was listening that I always attached to. I think everybody does it, personal experiences, past experiences, people they've met, stuff they've been through. Um, I, I try and do that with my music. I hope people can find something they feel through it. And, when a song gives you shivers and stuff like that, that's basically what I'm trying to get at. So, whether it works for some people or not, I hope it does. And it's great if it does. And that's where I'm trying to get at, really.
Then let's get to the new single, brother. That's what it's all about. What is the new single called, and how's it representing you and your career today?
Um, the new single is called Lonely for Tonight. It is a little different than the stuff we released on the first EP. It's a little more rock and roll. It's a little maybe a little more in your face than the first stuff we released. But I think Lonely for Tonight took us a while to find a sound that we wanted to go with next, and where we wanted to head in terms of direction of the band and sound and what we wanted to be. And I think we landed on something pretty good. I think we're always progressing as most bands are, and we're really just trying to get our feet on the ground with who we want to be as a group and what we want to sound like. So I think Lonely for Tonight is a great start to where we want to get to.
Does that represent your confidence?
Uh
Because when
I
you say
guess,
in
like,
your face, I think of, you're on stage and you're performing.
yeah.
And, you're doing your thing in the beginning, but as you evolve, your music evolves. And I think it's almost like you're taking off one face and putting on another. And that's when I say, does this song represent your confidence?
I would say that's a good way to put it. I think, you know, over the past year and being able to perform and when we talk about confidence, even from like every show, I think we're improving, and I'm improving and just feeling more confident in what we're doing. And I appreciate the way you say that. It's like, yeah, I would say it does. I think we're getting somewhere where we want to be, and when we get on stage, we're starting to feel like we are where we want to be. Um, so yeah, I would agree with that. It does represent our confidence.
Lyrically, what's the song about?
Um, it's about basically being in a big city in a crowded place, and being a little too intoxicated on some sort of substance, and you sort of hit that spot of no return in the night, and it's just sort of about enjoying the ride instead of fighting it.
Have you done a video for this yet?
Um, we have. It is. It's just basically it's not out yet, but it's just like a live performance of the song of the last show we did in Ottawa, and sort of little snippets of our tour that we went on. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, cool. Oh, I love that, man. With a great single, what about an EP or an album? Is this going to follow up?
I think we're going with another EP. We basically have 6 or 7 songs finished, so we're just basically waiting for the right time to put the next one out, and we're just going to let Lonely for Tonight run its course and see what it can do and how much people enjoy it. And yeah, I'm excited for the next stuff to come out, though. It's like I said earlier, we're getting closer to where we want to sound, and always evolving. So I think everybody's going to like it.
What about shows? What's going to happen with the rest of 2022?
I think we just finished last week. Obviously, we got to open for the Suns at Kita Bella in Muskoka, which was exceptional. And I think we're trying to plan a few more for November and December. I'm not sure where, but hopefully get a few more under our belt before the new year.
Brother, before we wrap this up, for anybody, especially as life is changing so quickly, there are people who are my age who are
Yeah.
even trying to make those transitional moves and figuring out where I want to be. What advice can you give them? Because, man, you're a perfect example of that.
I would just say if you think that you have, a passion for something that you're not doing yet, or you think you could try and give it a whirl, then there's nothing wrong with just going for it. I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty in today's world, obviously, with everything that's happened and everything that is continuing to happen. But for me, it was like I always knew there was something in music. I didn't know how to do it or where to start. Obviously, Jay helped me with that, but I think if there's a passion for something, you should always give it a try. And I mean, the worst thing that happens is it doesn't work, and you maybe go back to what you're already doing. So
Yeah, then you know. You don't have to keep asking
exactly,
yourself. You know.
exactly.
Mike, thanks so much for this interview, man. Congrats on the new single. Let's talk when the EP does come out. And yeah, man, all the best. Crossing fingers I talked to you before the 2022 wraps up. But man, so proud of you. Congratulations and thanks for the interview.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.